Hi, thank you so much for being on my Jam on It podcast.
Of course. It says your name is Stormy Phoenix.
Okay, so that's like my DJ name that I used to go by and I still kept it. Stormy Phoenix, if you're curious of the origin, because a lot of people think it's a Marvel book like superhero, and it's not.
Mhm.
I wish I could say that, but my favorite actor who unfortunately passed away on Halloween, an anniversary. His name is River Phoenix. He's
Mhm.
brother to Joaquin Phoenix. And so my name is kind of like a tribute to the Phoenix family. So that's where it
Oh,
comes from.
that's so awesome. It's so beautiful. And also, Giselle is so beautiful. Like, you have
Oh,
so
thank
many
you.
pretty names.
I'll let my mom know that you think the name's pretty. So she did a good job then.
You did.
So I'm curious. I don't see it, but I'm wondering if you're wearing it, your wisdom teeth necklace.
How did you know I was wearing it? I'm wearing it.
I think I have this psychic sense ability.
Yes, I am. Oh my gosh. I was like this morning, I was like, it's going to bring me good luck today. So I had to wear it.
Okay, let's hopefully throughout this interview nothing bad happens. But
Yes.
I was telling Jenny through email that I'm going to be getting my wisdom teeth pulled soon.
Yeah, that's scary. That's scary.
Right? I'm super anxious about it. And it's funny because I was doing my research because I was like feeling like symptoms. I'm like, what could this be? And then it's like signs of wisdom teeth coming in. I'm like, no. But the typical ages from wisdom teeth to be, coming is between the ages of 17 to 25. And I've already passed that. So my wisdom teeth are coming in super late.
That's so interesting.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. Well, I honestly had a way better experience than I imagined. Like, and I have extreme anxiety, like relating to like going to the dentist. Um, and like dentist surgery is like my worst nightmare ever. Like literally, I was panicking. Um, but it was so smooth, and I was like laughing so much after.
Oh, did they give you laughing gas?
Yeah, I was just saying the darndest things. It really brings out a side of you.
Oh my gosh. I feel like we should have seen a video of your wisdom teeth being pulled.
Yeah, I know. I have some after videos. They're pretty funny.
I did read somewhere that if you weren't a singer, you would be considering to be a doctor. And I was curious as which doctor would have been.
Yeah. I had some different ideas. It's so silly now. Because that is just no, I wouldn't that would be bad. I was thinking for a long time about being a dermatologist. Because I had incredibly severe acne at one point. And I took a round of Accutane and that fixed it for the most part. But I was just like, I want to fix this for the people, because I went to a few doctors and um, they were awesome, but it didn't help. Like nothing helped. And I kind of thought, if I try this myself, if I figure it out, I can help people like me. But yeah, I definitely don't want to be a doctor. I'm glad that's not happening. Um, yeah, it's not for me.
That's such a trip because like I don't see myself being a doctor being in school for so many years, but I said the same thing. I'm like, if I'm going to be a doctor, I want to be a dermatologist because not
Whoa.
only did I have bad acne, I mean, I'm still kind of suffering from acne. You can't see because of the makeup, but I also like had this skin condition in my family. They also have skin problems. So I was like, I would want to be that doctor to help people who feel insecure. And I love watching Dr. Pimple Popper. I think she like helps people's lives.
Me too. She is so cool. Oh my gosh. I feel so like happy and calm watching her videos. I know that sounds crazy because they're kind of like gross,
Yeah.
but like seriously, that's like my safe space. It's really nice. She's awesome. And dermatologists, like, I don't know, they usually have great vibes. I love the vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely good people. And so before we kind of jump into our interview questions, I want to do like a warm up fun question. And since Halloween recently just passed, what is your favorite candy?
Ooh, Twix is my number one favorite. It used to be Snickers. Something changed though. I'm not sure what it was, but I would still do a Snickers. Just anything like with chocolate and crunchy, huge fan. But also like gummy bears. It's like opposite ends of the spectrum, and like sour uh like sour worms. You know those things? Sour.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
The Aces love gummy bears too. And I have a short story. I met the Aces when they did their last tour. And because I watched their video last one, because they're like eating gummy bears, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna bring them gummy bears. And then they totally devoured the whole bag.
Oh, that's so awesome. Wait, that's great to know. We can have some gummy bears on the road.
Right? And some Twix.
Yes.
I did see in your bio as well that you love board games. What's your favorite board game?
Ooh, my favorite board game is Scrabble because I'm kind of really good at it and I love winning. um, yeah, I'm just like undefeated. Like I literally have never been defeated except by my mom and my brother, but they like taught me. It's like a family. We are very wordy. We are very like spelling bees. We're like big. I won one. My brother won one. We love to spell.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, before texting, I would say I was an excellent speller. Nowadays, it's like I got to pronounce and make sure. And I even have
Yeah.
Grammarly installed on my phone just to make sure.
That's awesome. That honestly is so helpful. Yeah. I mean, texting is a whole different ballpark. I mean, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, I have autocorrect definitely on always. My mom doesn't, so whenever like she's driving and I send a text on her phone, it's just so bad. Like so many mistakes. I can't imagine the phone not changing it for me. That's like
Yeah. No wonder people just rely on emojis. Like, screw the words, just send a picture.
no, exactly. Yeah, it's really helpful.
And since, you have this inner child quality, what is your favorite childhood book?
Oh my God. Uh it's funny. I'm sitting right next to my books. And there are so many childhood books, children's books like at the end. Um I see Fancy Nancy. I was a huge fan. She was such an extravagant queen, and I really take after her these days. She wore whatever she wanted. It was so sick. Yeah, there's oh my god. Yeah, and the book that I have is like her going to ice cream with her family and they're all wearing like normal people clothes and she's like wearing a feather boa and like heels. Um and so she inspires me. And also there's this one book, I forgot the exact name. I think uh it's like I love you forever, I'll like you for always as long as I'm living, something blah blah blah. And it's about a mom and a child and they grow up together and eventually the child takes care of the mother and it's like
Mm,
really beautiful.
it is. That's so poetic just by the title. And then, you hear the story. It's like, that is so sweet.
I remember it made me emotional as a kid. I was like, oh, this is really lovely. Yeah, and it's so special to me now. I need to like buy another copy.
You did a cover of Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, which you announced that you're going to be performing it live.
Yes. Yes, I'm so excited about that. I just did the tracks for the like big choir sound. I'm excited about that.
Spencer, you did a cover of his song. You posted on Instagram, and he, obviously his manager reached out. And I'm curious as to whether if you did not post that cover on your story, do you think you would be where you're at right now, or eventually you would, find a different path to be where you're at right now?
Yeah, I think about that all the time too. Um, because it really was a series of like silly little events that made this happen. Silly little crazy events is what I mean, like kind of like coincidences maybe. So yeah, I think about that. I don't think this would be happening right now. I really don't. I'm a big believer in like every single decision you make, every single thing you do, um, has an effect on what's happening, right now. And if you do one thing different today, tomorrow will be different. I think that's how the world works, just personally. so yeah, because I wouldn't have my manager, and my manager kind of like took me under her wing, brought me into the business. So I definitely think I would be on the same path. Like generally, like I would be toward working towards the same goal of, releasing my own music, being an artist. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't be like signed. And I really don't think I would be signed, or like I probably would have started TikTok by myself. But yeah, I think things would be a lot different, which is so crazy. I'm so glad I did. I'm glad that things happened the way they did. It's really cool.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. And then, you keep reflecting that. It's like, oh, it could have been a whole different way. And I really love your song, Unrecognizable. And in the video, you're dancing and singing to your younger self. And would young Madeline believe, hey, in the future, you're going to get signed to Warner, you're going to be a singer, you're going to be touring with the Aces? Like, what would younger Madeline think?
Oh my gosh, it's hard to know. Um, she would probably freak out. She'd be like, "What?" Because at that time I really wasn't um sure of myself at all. And I was under the impression that being an artist for a living is like not plausible at all. And it's not an option really. Uh, because, you are taught to have, a job with a steady income and go to school, all of the school, do something that you can like fall back on. And being an artist, I was always like told that it's like a one in a million, like, type deal. But I really think like if you work hard and you try your best, like you really, like, you can do it. Because I did it. And I'm doing it. So um yeah, I would definitely freak out as a kid knowing that this is happening. Wouldn't believe it. I'd be so excited. I'd be like, let's fast forward. I want to do that right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Even Justin Bieber says, never say never.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I was thinking about my younger self recently, my younger self seeing me with blue hair and tattoos. And I think I would also freak out about that. Like, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Then you like look back at the yearbook, like, oh my gosh, I was this girl and now I'm this person. Yeah.
totally. Yeah. It's like different eras like every year. Yeah.
So actually, I was gonna save this kind of towards the end, but I'm gonna segue here. Like I mentioned, like, you have the persona of this sweet, innocent child, and I'm just curious because you mentioned about like different eras changing, your look. Are we gonna see this evolution of Madeline the person?
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, I think naturally because I'm always changing, but also I do know that I have plans of um doing something fun and different in the near future. So that's exciting. Yeah, and I think forever and ever and ever I'll evolve and do different things. I want to try everything before I die. Yeah.
Now let's go back to the Aces because you're going to be on tour with them very soon. And this is like a total girl power tour. And not only that, it's because these members, they are big supporters of the LGBTQA and plus. So, like, how are you feeling about, getting ready for this tour?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Same here. I'm looking forward to seeing your San Francisco show. Remember, gummy bears.
Gummy bears. Yay, San Francisco. Okay, I'll keep it. Oh my gosh.
So I know that you're a songwriter, you're a storyteller as well, sharing your personal stories about what's happened to you. And I'm curious, as you're writing these songs or even like recording for a rehearsal, like how do you let your emotions just burst, or how do you kind of control your emotions?
Yeah, that's a great question. Um, I think the most emotional part is when I'm writing it. Um, because that's really like the initial like release. It's when I like kind of admit to myself that these feelings that I feel are real. So that's hard, and it always is. But I think I think it's my favorite part. Um, because it's like I get to be super honest with myself, and then I get to choose if I am going to share that with the world or not. Sometimes I don't. And I have a lot of songs that probably will never see the light of day. And that kind of makes me feel safe because I get to pick and choose what truths I share and what ones I keep hidden. And yeah, there's just like endless things to be written about in my brain. Um, yeah, and I think with practicing and singing the songs over and over again, it is very interesting. I've found that it does bring up emotions. And so it is hard sometimes, but I think um, I'm working on taking myself to the place of when I wrote it, but not totally like submerging myself in the feelings because that's too much. I just want to like take a trip back to those days and not feel stuck there because that's when it feels a little too heavy, you know.
Watching your music videos and they're so aesthetically bright and they're colorful, but you make beautiful sad folk pop lyrics, and there's a big contrast, you know, the bright colors to the video and the very sad lyrics. And I'm wondering, you know, is that a result of your imposter syndrome? Because I think I read about that somewhere.
Totally. Yes. You know your stuff. I can't believe it. Um yeah, no, it totally is. Um yeah, it's always been kind of a struggle between um choosing which ways I express each thing because there's so many things that I want to express, and for a huge portion of my life I didn't think that they were important enough to say or show. Uh, so once I, you know, got that self-confidence and realized like before I die, I want to do some cool things and share my emotions and maybe like help some people. Um, then I started, you know, just like doing whatever I want basically. But it does have a rhyme and a reason. I think music just naturally is the way that I express the things that are the hardest to say. Um, because I feel like when it's a song, I'm not really saying it. It's a different language to me. Um, yeah, I love writing songs, especially sad ones, because they feel really safe and cathartic, and I can always go back to them and feel the same emotions and um, it's really cool also to look back and see, oh, I've written those songs, I've been in those places and I've come so far. uh that's super cool too. Yeah, and I think with my aesthetic is kind of how I express everything else, like uh usually with like clothing and stuff, I just go crazy and do whatever I want, and it's kind of me just like um taking advantage of the freedom I have, I guess, because that's something that I didn't realize that I had for a very long time. And it's so exciting because like when I realized you can literally wear whatever you want any day, like you can wear socks on your head, like you can do anything. It's so fun. That's when I realized like I'm gonna have some fun, you know?
Yeah, more power to you. And my last question would be, because you did a song August with Adam Melkor, and I know that he's label mates with you, but let's
Yeah.
talk about the collaboration and how this like masterpiece of a duet came to be.
Yes. Yeah, so I wrote the song. I actually wrote it with my producer named Leroy. I came in with my first verse and a little bit of the chorus, and we put it together, um, the song that is August Now. And we realized, you know, I showed it to my A&R. Her name is Gab. She's awesome. And she was like, you know what? I hear a man in this song. We should kind of like think of duet partners. And the first person she said was Adam. And I was like, he's one of my favorite songwriters. That would be amazing. And it was so perfect because we're label mates and it's just like really good. Um, yeah, and he did a little demo and I was like, that's literally the most perfect thing I've ever heard, so it needs to happen. um yeah, and then we did the music video together. It was so fun.
Thank you so much for your time. I know that you're going to be really busy, but I will definitely be there. I believe it's at August Hall in San Francisco.
Yay, I can't wait to meet you. Thank you so much.